And so, in week 9, which was the 22nd of March, I started having spotting. It was more, my CM was tinged pink, and then as the week went on, my CM was tinged more red, and I didn't have any cramping, so I thought, oh, bleedings can be normal in pregnancy, especially in the beginning, so I was trying not to freak out, I was trying not to worry, and I had my first OB appointment on April 4th, which I would have been 11 weeks one day. So I thought, oh, I'll just wait it out, it'll be fine. And then on the 30th, I woke up and I had 3 small clots, like really small clots, and when I wiped, there was actually blood on the tissue. And so I was so scared. And so I called my OB nurse and left a message with her, and she called me back 7 hours later, which made me really mad. But she called me back and basically said that they tell all their patients who have bleeding just to go to the ER, and that they don't have an ultrasound machine in their office, and that I could either wait till my appointment, or if things get worse, just go to the ER. So by this time, it's the 30th of March at like 4 or 5 o'clock. And I didn't want to go to the ER and drag my husband and my son there and be there all night past my son's bedtime. So I was just like, told my husband, look, we will wake up in the morning when Oliver wakes up, and we will, get him ready and take a shower, and then we'll go to the hospital. And I woke up on the 31st, and I was so nervous. My stomach was in knots. I was running around, doing everything. I was so nervous. And we left here, I think at like 9 or something, to go to the hospital, and the hospital was like 20 minutes away. Then it's actually the hospital that I delivered my son at, even though we had just moved to where we live now 2 months before my son was born. But so we went to the hospital, and we got there like a little before 10 probably, and we checked in, and then we sat down, and then like probably not even 5 minutes went by, and they called me up to get my vitals taken. And I got my vitals taken, and I told them what was going on, and the nurse took me back to a room right away. And so I sat in the room in a few minutes, and like the nurse who had brought me back gave me a gown to put on, and we'd been there a few minutes, and my son was starting to fuss, and then I realized that I had left his milk at home because I was so nervous, and we just switched him to whole milk, so it has to be refrigerated. It's not like the formula where I would just fill up his bottle with the amount of water and then bring the formula like pre-sized out. So that, you can just stick in your diaper bag like all day long and it's not going to go bad, but like milk, has to be refrigerated. So, well, cow's milk, I should say, because I call it formula milk. But anyways, so my husband and my son went back home, and so I stayed there, and another nurse came in and like asked me some questions, and then I sat there I probably was there for like an hour before I saw the doctor, or around an hour. And while I was waiting to see the doctor, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I had to pee so freaking bad. And all these people kept walking past my room and like looking in, and like I wanted to say something so bad, but I was just like, no, then they'll come in, blah, blah, blah. And then this one guy finally like poked his head in my room. He's like, are you okay? Do you need anything? It's like, I need to go to the bathroom really, really bad. So he showed me where the bathroom was and said, oh, well, just take a urine sample just in case they need it. So I did that, and I felt so much better. And then he came back in and was like, oh, you want me to turn the TV on for you? So we turned the TV on, and that was really nice. And then, yeah. And then the doctor finally came in, and she said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do an internal exam to make sure your cervix is closed, and then we're going to take some blood and test stuff, and then we're going to give you an ultrasound. And so she did the internal exam, and she said that the bleeding had stopped. She didn't say if my cervix was closed, but when she took the speculum out, it did have blood on the end of it. And so then she said, okay, well, I'm going to go out and somebody will be in to draw your blood. So it was really a nice nurse. The one who checked me in originally was the one who took my blood. And then he also started an IV. They didn't put anything in it, but they just had it to just start it. And then my son and my husband came back after that. And then another nurse came in and had to put in a catheter, which I was like, what? Say what? Catheter? I don't think so. And so they were like, yeah, you need a catheter because for the ultrasound, since I was 10 weeks and 4 days. Since you're only this far along, we need to fill up your bladder so we can see better. And then, so the lady, like my son and my husband went out so she could put it in, and she opens up the box, and she asks me, oh, are you allergic to any medicines? And I said, yeah, I'm allergic to latex. She looks at it, and she goes, this isn't latex-free. Let me go find you another one. So she went, and it took her like 15 minutes to go get a latex-free one. So she finally got a latex-free one and put it in, and it didn't really hurt as much as I thought. She said that it would feel like you have to pee all the time, like, like the urge to pee, which it really didn't, because, like, for me, when I need to pee really, really bad, like, it hurts really, really bad, so it wasn't that bad. But it was weird, the sensation of the pee coming out. It was really strange.